okay? Again, the purpose of this badge is to teach us about how to be safe online. So after the whole, there's 3 badges to this cybersecurity, and today we're going to work on the first badge. So after you complete all 3 of the badges, you'll have fun using your investigative skills to solve problems. Activities for today. Step number 1, we're going to find out how computers work. Okay, so what I have up on the screen now.
Christy, real quick, we do need to go back to do the promise and the law.
Okay, we need to go back. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're okay.
Okay. So let's do our Girl Scout promise. Ready? On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law. Girl Scout law. I will do my best to be honest and fair, friendly and helpful, considerate and caring, courteous, courageous and strong, and responsible for what I say and do. And to respect myself and others, respect authority, use resources wisely, make the world a better place, and be a sister to every Girl Scout.
Thank you.
Ooh, 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 ooh. There we are. So, as we know, computers are machines that are made up of different parts. So now I'm gonna see how much you guys know about computers, okay? So who can tell me what number 1 is? This is a picture of different parts that work together for the computer. So who can tell me what number 1 is?
The screen.
Correct. Number 1 is the screen. Okay, now let's move. And what does number 1 do? Can you tell me what number 1 does? What do we use it for? You need some help? Okay. We use the screen so that the screen is like the TV of the computer. That's what we use to be able to see things. Like I'm using my laptop screen so I can see you today. So that's what the computer monitor serves as. It's like, it's a screen. That's what we use to be able to see what we're working on our computers, okay? What about, let's move to number 2. Who knows what number 2 is?
So keyboard.
Correct. Now, what do we use the keyboard for? Anybody know what we use the keyboard for?
To type with?
Correct. We use the keyboard to type things. If we're typing, whatever we're typing, a letter, answering an email, whatever we're using, that's how we put our words into the computer, is by our keyboard. Okay, let's move along. Number 3. What's number 3?
A mouse.
A mouse, it is. And what do we use it for?
A mouse.
It is. And what do we use the mouse for? What do we use that for?
We use it to control the computer, so we either go onto places so we can go on to places.
Great job. Great job. That's correct. That's what we use that mouse for. Great job. Let's move to number 4. What's number 4?
The speakers.
The speakers. And what do the speakers do? What do the speakers do? They provide what?
They let you hear.
That's right. They provide the sound. As well as we can skip to number 6. Then what do we use number 6 for? What are those?
Headphones.
Headphones. And we use those for what? The same thing as number 4. What do we use those for?
Hearing.
Exactly. And we can use our headphones. I know a lot of times I ask my kids to use their headphones if they're listening to something and mommy really doesn't want to listen to it. So we can use the headphones for that. And lastly, what's number 5?
The printer. A printer.
Yes. And what do we use that printer for?
For printing.
For printing off things, correct. And there are a few other things about the computer that I need to tell you that are not on this. It's something called a CPW, which is pretty much like the brains of the computer. It's the central processing unit of the computer. It helps it's the brains of the computer. It's where the computer stores everything, and that's pretty important, as well as a webcam, and that's what we're using today to be able to do this. It's like a camera on your computer, okay? So those are pretty much the main parts of our computer that kind of make our computer work together, okay? And we use our computer. Can somebody help me? What do we use computers for? What do we use them for? Does anybody know?
We use them because they help us learn things.
Correct. Good job. We use them for our schoolwork. We use them to play games. We use them to watch movies. We use them to send messages, but guess what? We can also use our computers to explore, okay? That's another way you can use your computer. And as Girl Scouts, that's what this badge is gonna also teach you how to do, is to use your computers to explore and investigate and find out about things maybe that you wanna learn more about, okay? So, that was step 1. Now, step 2 in this badge is, how do we protect something that's important to us? Does anybody want to take a guess at that? How do we protect something that's important to us?
By putting it in a safe place.
Great answer. You are correct. That's how we protect things. And some ideas on how we protect ourselves in everyday life is we lock our doors at home to protect our family. We put on sunscreen when we go outside to protect our skin. And so now we're going to segue to doing our activity. We're going to, for this activity, again, you're going to need a box of some sort. And also you're gonna need something that's special to you. It could be a tooth that you've lost. It could be a special coin, a special toy, but remember, it's gonna have to be small enough to fit in your box. Whatever you wanna store in this box is gonna have to be small enough to fit in your box, okay? So you're gonna need something that's special to you. You're gonna need a box, and you're gonna need some art supplies, okay? So when you got all those things together, let me know so we can move forward to working on our box to secure something that's very important to us. So that's what we're gonna do with this box, okay? And while we're waiting, also, we need to know that computers also store things, and we're going to learn about ways that computers can help us keep things safe too, okay? So While you're getting your supplies together, I'm also going to get my supplies together.
Ready.
Okay. Is everybody ready?
Yes.
Okay. So first, let me see that what you chose to put in your box, and I'll share with you what I'm going to put in my box. What I'm going to put in my box is a picture that my daughter drew, okay? She's only 2, but this is very special to me, and I want to put it up in a safe place, so hopefully I can have time to put it in a scrapbook or something I can show to her when she gets older. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it up so it can fit in our box, my box. So I'm just going to fold it up neatly. Just going to fold it up. So this is my picture, all folded, okay? And it's gonna fit perfectly in my box. So I'm just gonna push it down inside of my box, and I'm gonna put the top on it, okay? So, do you mind sharing what you're gonna put in your box? Anybody want to share?
What I'm putting in my box is a flingy.
Awesome, I see it.
I'm putting in my box is binoculars.
Awesome.
I'm putting in my box is my neck.
A necklace, okay. Anybody else want to share?
Oh no.
You can tell.
I'm gonna put walk. I'm putting a nickel, a quarter.
A quarter, okay.
Mine is a quarter. A dollar.
I like this one.
That one? Are you sure?
Go ahead. Anybody else want to share? Okay, so now that you've found what you want to put in your box, go ahead and put it in your box and put the lid or close it, okay? Go ahead and put it in your box. And once you have it inside your box, you can really decorate it however you want to decorate it. Just be creative and decorate it. It's your box. It's your personal box. So you can decorate it however you want to decorate it. And to keep my box together, the first thing I'm going to do is use some tape. And I'm going to tape my box on the bottom to make sure that my box will stay closed, so my picture that I have inside does not come out. So that's the first thing that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tape my box so the top won't come off. So that's the first thing that I'm gonna do. Now you can just be as creative as you want to be. I have stickers that I'm gonna use. I'm gonna draw on mine with my markers. I have some scissors. I'm just gonna be creative and just decorate my box however I want it to look. I'm gonna put a star on top. Then I'm gonna add some stickers. This is my box so far. Add some more stickers. What are you guys using to decorate your boxes? Anybody want to share?
What I'm using to decorate my box is our ball pops and some wrapping paper. And
Okay.
some glue and some scissors.
Awesome. Anybody else want to share how they're decorating their box? I'm gonna write keep out on my box. Because it's
Using markers.
using markers. Okay, me too.
I'm using markers to decorate.
Okay, is everybody still working on their box or we done?
I'm still working.
Still working? Okay, continue to work on your box.
I'm done.
Okay, and as everybody else are finished working on their boxes, I want you to imagine something as you're finishing up your box. Okay, so let's all imagine that you have a magical pebble, okay? You have a magical pebble, okay? And it can just give you and it can allow you to wish for anything, okay? So you want to keep that pebble safe, okay? And you don't want people to know or find it because it's a special pebble that can give you anything that you wish for. What are some things that you can do to keep your pebble safe? Okay, what are some things that you can do to keep your pebble safe? What are some things that you can do?
You get the code right.
Okay, so
One of those safe things that you turn the code to get the code right.
just a second.
A safe.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Yes, we could put our pebble in a box like we just made. That's one thing we can do. And for added security, we could put a lock on our box, okay? I don't have a lock on my box, but we could put our pebble in a box and we could put a lock on the box, okay? And for added security, we could put it in a box with a lock and then we can hide it somewhere. But remember, if you hide it, Try to remember where you put it, because then you will not be able to make your wish whenever you're ready. Okay? But when we're working on computers, we can do the same thing. You can create layers of protection on your computer as well. You can have what's called passwords for your computer, and those are just special words that you come up with that only that you know, or maybe your parents know. And I'm sure your parents have passwords on things on your computer to keep you safe and to make sure that you don't go to different sites that you shouldn't on your computer. Okay? So, is everybody done with their boxes?
I'm not done.
You're not
almost.
almost done? Okay. I'm going to give you a few more minutes. Your boxes are looking great. Great job. And when we're talking about cybersecurity, these are 4 words that we kind of need to know and keep in our back of our minds. Number 1 is protect. That's the first word. And protect, it means to keep from getting hurt or lost. So protect is important. Safety is always important, and safety means to be free of harm and danger. So we always want to make sure we're free from harm and danger, especially when we're on the computer. Identity is who a person is, okay? And identity is important with dealing with computers, because sometimes people try to take other people's identity. And communicate is very important, because that's one of the main reasons why people use computers, is to communicate with other people, work, your friends. So protect, safety, identity, and communicate are very important when we're talking about cyber safety. Okay, so is everybody done?
No.
Okay. About another minute or 2, and then we'll have to move to step 3, okay? You're almost done? Okay. As you are finishing your boxes, can I see your boxes? This is my finished box.
This is my box for my mailing when this time is over.
Good job. Good job on your box. You did a great job on your box. Great. Okay, let's move to step number 3. And step number 3 is, how are we connected? Okay. And in a sense, we're connected like computers are connected. We're connected because we spend lots of time. We spend lots of times talking and with our friends and our family every day. So we're connected to them in one way or another. Even if we don't see them, we can call them, we can email them, we can text them, we can Skype them, we can Zoom with them. So we're connected with our friends and families, even though we may not be able to see them. Well, computers are connected as the same way. Computers connect with other computers is what's called a network. So the computers work together. They send messages just like we send messages. You know, they allow you to be able to do your work while working at home. Your parents can send stuff to their bosses. While you're at home from school, you can send your teachers your schoolwork. You can also complete your schoolwork and send it back to your teachers. So, question as we wrap up for today is, how do we communicate? What are some ways that we communicate with each other, just like we use computers? We use computers to communicate, like I said, email, to pay for things, to buy things, to shop online, to do our schoolwork, for your parents to do their work, a variety of different ways. So how do we communicate? What are some ways that you communicate? Anybody want to share?
Write a card.
A card. That's a great way to communicate. I like that. Thank you. That's a great way to communicate. That's wonderful. What's another way?
By talking.
That's a great way, by talking face to face, in person. That's a great way. Anybody else?
On a phone.
On the phone. That's a good one. That's a good one. Anybody else? We can send somebody a letter. A lot of people don't do that anymore because we do use computers, but you could write somebody a letter and you can mail it to them. Any other ways that we can communicate?
I'm finished with my box.
You finished with your box? Do you mind letting us see it? Can we see what your box looks like? Awesome. I like it. You did a great job on your box.
I communicate my family by calling her.
That's a great way. That's a great way. Anybody else want to share? Does anybody have any questions about basic computer stuff? Does anybody have any questions about anything basic dealing with computers? And you guys probably know more about computers than Miss Christie does, I'm sure. I'm sure y'all are probably the experts on computers.
How do the computers connect?
The computers connect by you know, when you hear people say Wi-Fi all the time, and like I mentioned, networks, that's how computers connect, through different kind of networks. And the Wi-Fi is our internet. That's how we were able to say our phones work without being plugged up. We don't have to plug them up necessarily to be able to play games and stuff like that. They work because we're using what's called the Wi-Fi. So computers are connected through networks.
I'm finished with my box.
Can we see your box?
Yes.
Anybody else have a question or want to share their box? Oh, I like it. That's pretty. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any ideas on where they're going to keep their box, where they're going to store their box at?
Under my bed.
Under your bed. That's a good idea. Anybody else? Where are you going to store your box?
Under my desk.
Under your desk? Anybody else?
Under my box.
Good job. Good job. I like it. Where are you going to store your box?
I don't know. Under. I don't know. Couch.
Under the couch? Okay, that's perfect. Anybody else want to share their box or tell where they're going to store your box at? Okay.
I want to put mine in the pocket.
Okay, awesome. So, before we close, the next steps to being able to complete this badge is badge number 2, which is Cybersecurity Safeguards, and badge 3, Cybersecurity Investigate. And then the badge 3, again, like I said, you get to use your computer to help you search and find answers, which is really, really fun. So I hope you guys had a blast today learning basics about computers and how they work and how we use them to communicate. And after today, I hope that you can share with your family what you learned about the basics of computers and how they work, and as well as how to protect things. Thank you for joining us today, and feel free to join us at 3 o'clock for a multi-level activity. Thank you. Any more questions? Any more questions before we?
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
You don't need to know.
I did.
Bye.
I did by itself.
Justin.
Shall start in a few seconds.
Okay, just leave it alone. Leave it like that.
Yes.
Mhm.